Welcome back, children. So we'll see virus and viroids in this class. We have learned about five kingdom classification, and Argach Whittaker he explained our five kingdom classification, but he did not mention virus, viroids, and lichens in his kingdom. So we want to learn separately, not in the five kingdom classification. So we'll move on to the first one, virus. Already we have learned about lichens, no? So next we'll see virus. So what is virus? Lower classes we have learned about virus, no? So virus is actually, will tell, it is a biologist puzzle. How can we define virus? Means virus we can define as biologist puzzle. Why? Because virus, they'll possess both the characteristic of living and non-living. That is first important character. Second, virus, they can able to replicate or they can able to grow only when it is present inside the living host, not outside. So when it is outside, it will show a non-living character. When it is enter into the host, for example, host might be plant or animal or even microbes. So when it is enters into the host only, it will replicate. That's why still biologists, they are telling viruses are puzzles, because they'll show both the characteristic of non-living and living. So what are the characteristics under non-living? Means we can tell some of the characteristic, okay, and it is applicable for virus. It shows it is a non-living. So please write down the non-living characteristic of virus. First one, the viruses, they don't have any complete cell structure. They doesn't have any cell wall. They doesn't have any cell membrane. It will possess only nucleic acid. Nucleic acid means either RNA or DNA. And the nucleic acid is covered by a protein. Only it will contains nucleic acid and protein. No nuclear membrane, no cell membrane, no cell wall. So if there is no cell wall or if there is no cell membrane, we can't call it as a cell. So virus is not a cell. So it is so if it is not a cell, how can we call it as a living organisms? No. So this is a very first important point. It shows the virus is non-living. Okay, it doesn't contain any cell wall or cell membrane or cellular structure. Okay, no mitochondria, no Golgi apparatus, no cell organelle, nothing. Only nucleic acid will be, it is surrounded by a protein. That's all. So that is the first point. And second point we'll discuss, they don't have any own metabolism process, or they can't respire also. What do you mean by metabolism, children? Metabolism means when we take food, means automatically it should break down, and from that we'll get energy. Okay, metabolism I'll explain in plant physiology also. In general, I'll tell metabolism means it is a part of two category, catabolism plus anabolism. Okay, metabolism means catabolism plus anabolism. What do you mean by catabolism, children? Catabolism means breakdown. Okay, anabolism means synthesis. So your body will synthesize some new protein also, but after consuming your food, it will be broken up by smaller components. Both also will happen in your body. That is only we call it as metabolisms. So what is metabolism? Both formation of new proteins and breakdown of carbohydrate, everything will happen, or breakdown of protein or breakdown of fat. Everything comes together, we'll call it as a metabolism. So no metabolism will take place in virus, and also no respiration also. This is a second category, indicates virus is a non-living. Virus is showing a non-living character. So what is first one, children? First one is a no complete cellular structure. So no cellular structure. First one is no cellular. Okay. What is the second one? Second one, no metabolism. Okay. No metabolism. What do you mean by metabolism? No synthesis, no breakdown. So no metabolism. And third one, no respiration. No respiration. And what is fourth one? Fourth one, we can tell if it is an organism or if it is a living creature, it should possess some gravity. Okay, but the virus, they don't have any gravity power. So it will be in air for some days, and it will, when it is fall, because of any reasons, it will be stick on to the it will be stick on to your table or chair forever, okay, for some days, for few days, okay. And that's why we are telling it doesn't have any gravity power of on its own. Other living organisms, they'll have a gravity. Once they'll go up, automatically they'll come down, but it is not in the case of virus. They don't have any gravity power. No gravity, okay, no gravity. Okay, that is the fourth point. And what will be the fifth point means, automatically, for example, we can able to crystallize virus. Okay, we can able to crystallize virus. So what do you mean by crystallize means, only we are telling only it will contain nucleic acid and it is was surrounded by a protein, no? So we can make it as a inert material or inactive material. Already it is inactive when it was outside the body, but that too we can make it as a crystalline form, and afterwards, no, after crystallization form also, when it enters into the body through any opening, it will become active. So the crystallization is also showing it as a, it will shows or it will shares the non-living characters. So we can able to make, or we can able to make the viruses into crystalline form. Okay, what is crystalline form? Crystalline is nothing but it is to make some, it is a chemical substance. So chemical substance means they are not a living substance, no. Okay, chemical substance means it is not a living substance. For example, you have learned, chemistry, so many chemicals you are learning, that is all not a living substances. Like that, it contains only protein, no, it is chemical only. So we can able to make crystallized form, okay, and it won't, it is showing this crystallining conversion of crystalline form also showing a non-living character. And also what other things, that's all, okay. And these are the some example. It shows a virus is a non-living character. First one, no cellular structure, no cell wall, no cell membrane. Second one, no metabolism. Third one, no respiration. Fourth one, no gravity. And fifth one, we can able to crystallize the virus. We can able to crystallize the virus. So automatically these points suggest that viruses show a non-living character, okay. And we'll come to the viruses living character, okay. These are the 5 points you want to write and keep. What are the non-living character? Next we'll move on to the living character. So first living character, okay, first living character, though it is an acellular, when it is enter into the host like plant or animal, even microorganisms, and they can able to replicate, okay, they can able to replicate inside host cell. They can able to replicate. What do you mean by replicate? Multiplication. They can able to form many copies, okay, many copies of viruses inside the host cell. So that is replication. Second one, now look at the structure, no. This is an example for one virus. They'll have some structure, definite shape, like how the living organisms will possess definite shape, no. Like that, even viruses, they'll possess a definite shape. So now look at this structure, no. This is, we can call it as TMV virus, okay. TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, and this is a plant virus. And now look at this, always the structure will be like this only. So living organisms only will possess a common complete fixed shape and size. Now imagine other creatures and all, it will based on the environment, the shape and structure will change. But in the case of virus, they'll possess definite shape. So second character is definite shape. Definite shape and size shows it is a living creature. So they can able to replicate because they'll possess DNA and RNA, and they'll possess a definite shape. Okay, it is also showing it as a definite shape and morphology. Morphology of living organism. How morphology of living organisms will be, like that. Even viruses showing us some constant shape and size. So we'll tell even viruses is also living creatures only. And actually, here you want to remember, viruses, they can able to undergo mutation. Okay, I'll write here mutation. What is mutation? Mutation means at a sudden change. Okay, sudden change leads to change its DNA and protein. That's the thing happening even in coronavirus also. Till now, they are telling 6 strains were observed. Why? Because here a sudden change because of the climate or because of the host, because of any one of the reasons. Here the number of proteins slightly it will show changes, means one slight changes also leads to a strain of coronavirus. So coronavirus is the heading, means it is a pioneer form of virus, means in that if one alteration leads to one different strains, but it is all same coronavirus only, but it changes one form of protein or slight changes in 2 or 3 proteins leads to one different strains. Okay, one different strains. So it will happen only in living organisms. So viruses will show a mutation and they can able to change their genetic makeup. So we can call it as a living organism. Is that clear, children? So first one, they can able to undergo replication inside the host. Second one, they'll have some morphology. They'll have own morphology. And third one, it will undergo mutation. They'll undergo mutation and they'll possess the property of mutation. And very important, 3 point will write, children. I'll erase and I'll write 4th point. Okay. So 4th point will tell irritability. Okay, this is a term, it was given in the first chapter. Though it was deleted, I think you are not familiar with the term, no? So that's why I am writing. Irritability. What do you mean by irritability? I'll spell it. irritability. So what do you mean by irritability, children? Irritability means response to stimulus. Okay, response to stimulus. If it is a living organism, automatically it will respond for some stimulus. Okay, we have learned in control and coordination, no? Regarding stimulus and response. Like that, if stimulus is there, automatically it will respond. That is the nature of living organisms. Even the viruses, they'll show response for stimulus. So it possesses irritability. Okay, and they'll respond to the environmental conditions such as heat, ultraviolet rays, and also for high humidity, and drought, alcohol. And these are the chemicals also, environmental also, and ultraviolet rays also. According to that, the nature of virus will collapse or it will change. So if it is changing, means automatically based on stimulus some response is happening. We can conclude that. So this irritability shares viruses shares a living character, and automatically what does the other nature means. And here like how other organisms will possess DNA and RNA. Similarly in virus also we can see DNA virus and RNA virus. Okay, we can see DNA virus also, so RNA virus also. So we can see nucleic acids will be different in virus. So these are the some points initiate, or it will insist that viruses shows a living characteristic. Okay, that's all about the some general information regarding viruses of non-living and living. Now let's move into the what is given in your NCERT. What is given in your NCERT? So first point, okay, first point will underline. Okay, in the 5 kingdom of classification, Whittaker, there is no mention of some cellular organisms like viruses and viroids. Mention of some cellular organisms. Actually here we should not call it as cellular organisms, but because of presence of RNA or DNA and also viruses will tell cellular organisms also. So here it is missing, A is missing, children. A cellular organisms. Okay, so we will not call it as cellular organism, it is a acellular organism because there is no cell wall, no cell membrane. So there is no indication of acellular organisms like virus and viroids in the Whittaker 5 kingdom classification. And the viruses are non-cellular organisms that are characteristic having inert crystalline structure. What do you mean by inert, children? I think you might have learned in your chemistry inert chemicals. Inert chemical means inactive chemicals. Okay, like that. Even this virus is also inert crystalline structure when it was outside the host or outside any living organism. When it is present in air, when it is present in water, when it is present in other area, it will shows inert crystalline structure, inactive non-living crystalline structure. Only it is just like a chemical alone. Okay, it is a inactive chemical when it is present outside the body. That is the meaning for inert crystalline structure. Okay, once they infect a cell, they take over the machinery of host cell. Here this point is very interesting. So now outside the body it is inert crystalline structure, but when it enters into the host might be a plant, host might be animal or invertebrate or vertebrate or even a microorganisms. Host might be anything. Now your inert crystalline structure is entering into our body means automatically whatever the body it is entering, it will use the body machinery for its purpose. Okay, for example, when it is entered into your body means automatically we are telling they don't have any cell organelles, nothing. So how it is multiplying? It is multiplying with the help of the host machinery. Okay, how the host is multiplying, how the host is doing so many work inside the cell. So it will use all those reactions of host, and it is used for its purpose. So it started to multiply inside the host cell. Okay, and here, so that is the nature of virus, and this is all about introduction. Now we'll see who first discovered virus. The name virus, that means venom. What is meaning by virus? Means venom or poisonous fluid, and it was first given by a Poischer. Okay, DJ Ivanovsky. So we'll call it as Dmitry Ivanovsky. He is a scientist. Okay, he only first gave the name virus. Meaning for virus is venom. Venom means poisonous. Okay, who is given? Dmitry Ivanovsky. Okay, and in the year of 1892, that is all years are important, 1892. And viruses also contain genetic material that could be either RNA or DNA. So not both. That is very important. Either it will contain RNA or DNA, but not both. And no virus contains both RNA and DNA. A virus is near nucleoprotein. So how can we simply define what is virus? Virus is a nucleoprotein. It contains nucleic acids like DNA and RNA. What do you mean by nucleic acid? DNA and RNA we can call it as nucleic acid. We have learned in grade 9, no? So here deoxyribonucleic acid, ribonucleic acid. So these are the two types of nucleic acid, and along with that it will contain protein. So simply we can define viruses as nucleoprotein, and the genetic material is infectious. Now what is it is containing by either DNA or RNA? When it is enters into the host, it won't give any one single positive effect to the human body. It will cause infection only, because it is like a more or less like a parasite only, not parasite. Parasite means we'll call it as living. So how parasite? Because a parasite will get disturbance only, will get infection only for plant also, even animal also. Similarly for virus, when it is invaded into the human being, automatically it will cause disease. So we can call it as infectious. Viruses cause disease like mumps. Okay, here are some example like mumps. What is mumps, children? Mumps, smallpox, herpes, influenza, and also AIDS, like coronavirus. So many viruses there. So mumps, in Tamil we can tell, no, Ponnukka Vingi. So in your near to the throat and your near to the chin region, automatically it will get swelled and the area become red, and we can see small bubbles. That is only we call it as mumps. And smallpox, we all familiar, Chinnamai. And herpes means here, no, even it can be seen in your neck region. Herpes can be seen in your neck region. There also inflammation will be, okay, and red patches will be there. In Tamil we can call it as Akki disease. That is only herpes. And influenza, now so many times you may heard about the influenza virus. It is a flu and it used to cause high fever. Okay, influenza virus. And AIDS that we have learned in grade 10. Okay, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It will cause disease in humans. And it is all causative agent is virus. So if I ask the examples for virus, you can list out like mumps, okay, smallpox, herpes, influenza, AIDS, coronavirus. So many is there. Common cold, okay, common cold, chickenpox, okay, measles, and also herbs, like that. So many viral diseases there. Only they have given a general category for virus example. I'll give separately DNA virus, RNA virus separately, okay. To understand what could be the viral disease, you just keep it in your mind, okay. Next we'll move on to it not only, we all know, no, it not only cause infection to the human beings, it will cause infection to plants also and animals also. So what are the common symptoms we can see under a plant means, for example, mosaic formation. Mosaic formation means we can like dot like structures in the leaf. So if it is a leaf, we can able to see in some leaves it is a dot like structure, no? So that dot like structures only we can call it as a mosaic. So mosaic is an indication of viral disease in the plants. And leaf rolling, the leaf got started to roll, okay, the leaf tip, no, it started to roll, leaf rolling. And also curling. Rolling means it's continuously it will roll up, curling only smaller region, that's all. And the leaf become yellow in color, okay, yellowing of leaf. And vein clearing, even the vein, no, vein which is, this is the vein, okay, this is the vein, vein is started to lose its condition, so the vein clearing also will happen. And a plant is very short, because of the disease the plant become very short. So very short only we'll call it as dwarfing. And stunted growth, if it is a dwarf, so sideways only it will grow, it won't grow in a lengthwise. So very short growth we can call it as stunted growth. So that's all about the viruses, who discovered a virus and who has given a term. And what could be the genetic material of virus, DNA and RNA, not both. Apart from that, we can see a protein also. And what are the some common examples of viruses in human beings, and what are the symptoms we can see under a plant, okay. So now this is the structure of TMV virus, children. This is tobacco mosaic virus, and this is a single stranded RNA. This is an RNA, children. This is a curl like bead like structure, no? This is the RNA. So this is the RNA, this is the genetic material, RNA. Okay, it is a single stranded RNA. Okay, we learned, no, human being we have a double stranded DNA, and some of the viruses are single stranded DNA, some of the viruses are single stranded RNA and also single stranded RNA. So one such example is TMV. TMV is a virus. It will cause disease in tobacco plant. Okay, there we can see a single stranded RNA, and the remaining all those green color, no, this and all only we can call it as proteins. Okay, this is only your protein. So protein together we'll call it as a capsid. So it is just covering the, not covering, it is closely related with your RNA. That thing we are called as capsid. So what is capsid? Protein only. So RNA capsid. And together of all capsids, no, we can call it as capsomeres. Okay, capsid. Single is capsid, children. Single. This single unit is capsid, and together means we can call it as capsomeres. CAPSO capsomeres. MERES. Capsomeres. Single unit is capsid. So it is an RNA, and it was closely related with the protein. So the protein is capsid, and together proteins we can call it as capsomeres. Is that clear, children? So this is one example for RNA virus. And normally you want to remember, imagine if it is, this is a RNA or DNA, and it is covered by a capsid. Okay, it is covered by a capsid, and capsid, what is the nature of capsid? Protein. Sometimes even the capsid was covered by one more layer. That one more layer only we can call it as envelope. ENVELOPE. PE, envelope. So what is envelope? RNA or DNA, nucleic acid was covered by protein, that is capsid. And even the protein also, the capsid layer also was covered by one more layer, that is we can call it as envelope. Even the envelope also protein nature only. And sometimes surrounding envelope we can see spike like proteins, okay. Surrounding the envelope layer, surrounding the protein layer, again we can see a spike like protein. So this is the structure we can able to see in the coronavirus. So coronavirus, RNA is there, single stranded RNA covered by a capsid, covered by envelope. Again the envelope is having so much of spike protein, okay. So in that, what you want to remember means, a virus means they will contain nucleic acids like DNA or RNA and contains protein, and protein might be single layer or double layer or triple layer. Single layer means only capsid will be, double layer means again one more layer, envelope will be. Again some viruses we can see spike protein over there. So that is also you can able to see in some viruses like coronavirus, okay. This is the structure of the viruses, okay. Next we'll move on to the next slide. And that's all about a virus introduction and also disease. And in your book it was given who first coined DJ Ivanovsky in 1892. And next what will happen means, and one person he called us, you take your book page number 26, okay, second paragraph. M.W. Bajernik in the year of 1898 he extracted some infected plants of tobacco and he sprayed this extract into over some other plant. Even that extract caused disease to other plant also. So he called that fluid, as Contagium vivum fluidium, meaning it is all infectious living fluid. Okay, and afterwards W.M. Stanley 1935 he showed that viruses could be crystallized, and even the crystals consist of what is nothing but largely proteins, what we discussed earlier. So what is that? Crystalline is inert. When it is present outside it is inert, and when it is enters into the specific host cell the viruses become active, and viruses are obligate parasites. So we all familiar with the obligate parasites, no? OBLIGATE. What do you mean by obligate? O means complete. So complete parasite. Viruses are complete parasite. Okay, that is the thing we are telling. Obligate. If it is a facultative, that is partially. And obligate means a complete parasite virus. So viruses are complete parasites. So what is the technical term used for that? Obligate parasites. Obligate parasites. And here how they discovered means, for example, they took a tobacco mosaic virus in tobacco plant and they filtered in the bacteria filter, and even the bacteria filter means only in that much size only will be in the filter, and these viruses are smaller than the bacterium, so it can able to come out through the bacteria filter. So from that only the scientists came to conclusion that viruses are smaller than the bacterium, and the size is also very very smaller, and there is no cell membrane and cell wall at all, only protein and genetic material is there. Okay, that's all about the viruses in detail. I'll give one notes, okay, for what are the DNA and RNA viruses. That is a double stranded DNA, single stranded DNA and single stranded RNA virus. And here you want to be understand one concept. Always plant affecting viruses, no, they all single stranded RNA viruses. And animals means we can see single stranded RNA also, double stranded DNA also, single stranded DNA also. But it is very specific. Plant means we can see single stranded RNA viruses only. So if it is a plant disease, you can tick it as a RNA virus, single stranded RNA viruses as an example for plant virus. Okay children, next we'll move on to the next category, viroids. So now till now we have discussed about virus. Next is viroids. So here this viroids, the term, no, it was not viroids, presence of viroid event was discovered by T.O. Dynier, okay, in the year of 1971. And this viruses or viroids, viroids, what is the nature of viroids means? It is a circular RNA. It is a circular RNA. We have learned in tobacco mosaic virus, it is a helical structure. So this is the RNA of tobacco mosaic virus. But come to this viroids, it is a circular RNA and it even infects the plants. And how it is different from virus means, here only genetic material will be, there won't be any protein, children. Okay, viroids only it will contains a free RNA. It will contain only free RNA and there won't be any protein coat. So hence the name viroid. How it is different from virus means no protein. So hence we can call it as viroid. And the RNA of viroid was very, very low molecular weight. Why? Because there is no protein, even more very less in weight when compared to the viruses. Is that clear? So viruses is smaller than the bacterium. Viroids are smaller than the virus. Why? Because there is no protein, only RNA will be. That is only we'll call it as viroids. Is that clear, children? So next category is prions. Okay, next category is prions. So here this word Prions, prions. It is not given in your book, but you just write and keep it. Prions are proteins. How we have learned in viroids, only RNA, no protein. But prions is only protein, no RNA or DNA. But this protein even cause so many diseases. The protein even will cause so many diseases. So how can we define this prions? Prions can be defined as proteinaceous infectious particle. Proteinaceous infectious particle. Proteinaceous infectious particle. So like that we can able to define prions. Okay, and what are the diseases can be caused by prions means? It will cause disease in animals also, plant also, and even human being also. We'll discuss some disease alone. For example, prions seen in a scarpies in sheep. Sheep it will cause disease. And mad cow disease for cow it is a mad cow disease. And Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease in humans. That is very, very important. Okay, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease was caused by prions. And here one more case is interesting, children. Here one disease is there. That disease we can call it as Kuru disease. Kuru. Kuru. Okay. Kuru. Here this Kuru disease is caused by prions. How it is causing means, here imagine if a person is affected by a Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. A person is affected by a Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. So after this Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, automatically there won't be any cure for this disease. So automatically the person will die. So after the death, okay, after the death, what the people will do means, this and all will happen in this disease and all very common, very popularly we can able to see in tribal people. So after the death means the people they'll do some ritual function. In that they'll take the brain of the person's Creutzfeldt-Jakob diseased person and they used to have their brain. Okay, they used to have their brain. So while eating the brain, the viruses will be stick on to the brain only. So this is we can call it as cannibalism. Cannibalism means eating of their own kind. For example, if human beings are eating the human beings means that we can call it as cannibalisms. We are familiar, some snakes and all they used to eat their own young generation. No? So that process we can call it as cannibalism. Okay, Cannabalism. Cannibalism. Here the cases will be more interesting. A person is not eating the whole body and after this some ritual, no, afterwards they will have only brain part. So this Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, no, the virus is more commonly we can able to see in brain, but that only because of neural disorder the person will die. So more viruses will be in the brain part. So without knowing, because they are not familiar with all those diseases, no. So without knowing, or they used to have the brain part. So after eating brain part, who and all they ate that brain, no, every persons will affected by the disease called Kuru, Kuru. So this we can tell in another term also, a laughing death. Kuru means a laughing death. After having this brain of affected persons, the person, they can't able to stand in a one person. Continuously the person will shake. So while laughing, even we don't have any balance. We used to shake our body. No, we without knowing our body will shake. Similarly, after this infection, our body won't be in a constant state. It used to shake. Okay, because of the shaking, it is just like a laughing position. So that's why we call it as a laughing death. So after this, no, after maybe 1 or 2 months, even that person also will die. There is no cure for this disease, Kuru. So after this, government, they banned this cannibalism process. Nowadays, it is not in common. It is not in a common. This Kuru disease is not common in other areas, and it is very popular disease until 67 and 68. 1968, it was there in some of the tribal areas of so many countries. So afterwards, government banned to have the cannibalism process. Nowadays, it is not very much common. But once it was affected, there is no cure for the disease. The persons will die. So why I am telling this stories means this prion is that much infectious material. Though it is only a protein. So protein is a very dangerous protein. So prions even cause so many diseases. A disease like Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease in human, and Scarpes sheep and mad cow disease. Please by heart and keep the names of the disease alone. Stories I am telling to understand the concept, to keep some touch with that. Okay. Next, how this prion spread infection means. Now look at the slide. Altered versions of proteins that can alter other proteins. For example, how you can think, how protein they can able to cause this much severe effect means, because protein means it is a structure. I keep on telling, protein only will give structure to your body. So because we'll learn in 3rd chapter regarding biomolecules. If I tell protein means, protein itself they'll have 4 parts. Okay, primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, quaternary. They'll have a 4 structure. So in that 4 structure, so many amino acids, they are linked together in a one proper sequence. Okay, and if some of the proteins disturb that protein means, automatically a normal process won't be in our body. So it leads to a nerval disorder and eyesight problem, vision, every problem, every neural connection will be disturbed. A body won't get in a normal equilibrium condition, so it leads to death. So here you want to understand only one concept: a protein will alter other protein. So protein is infectious material. It will alter the human protein, so it leads to death of the person. And that's all about the prions. Okay, that's all about the prions. So here we have discussed already viroids. So viroids, where and all we can see viral disease means, we can see in some of the plants. Okay, some example was given in your book also. Okay, viroid means only RNA, no protein. One such example is potato spindle tuber disease. It is because of the this viroids only. So here the structure was given to children. This is, we can call it as bacteriophage. So we have learned about plant virus, animal virus, okay, and viroids and prions. Apart from that, one more is there, even viruses will affect other microorganisms also. For example, some viruses will target only bacteria. So that kind of viruses we can call it as bacteriophage. Okay, so this is a structure, this is a virus only, this is nothing but children, this is a virus. Okay, bacteriophage is a virus. But this bacteriophage always target the bacteria. That's why scientists, they have given a term bacteriophage. So bacteriophage is not a bacteria. it is a virus, but it will target only bacteria. That's why scientists, they have given the bacteriophage. Is that clear, children? So this is the bacteriophage. So inner side we can see DNA, and it contains a beautiful head, that is nothing but protein, and neck-like structure, collar-like, sheath-like structure. And this is, we can call it as tail fiber. Okay, this is tail fiber. Okay, this bacteriophage can be used in biotechnology. Okay, so that we'll learn in grade 12 biotechnology chapter. It will be more interesting to learn about bacteriophage. So now in this level you want to know even viruses will affect bacteria. So what is the name of the virus which will affect bacteria? Means the name of the virus is bacteriophage. Is that clear? Okay, children, thank you. So here I have given some information regarding viruses, viroids, prion, and also what are the common diseases we can able to see under the viruses, DNA virus, RNA virus. Okay, just write and keep every material, and I'll send one snap alone. Okay, in that how we have discussed, no, herbs and mumps, everything. In that I have given DNA is what, DNA virus separately, RNA virus. Okay, that alone you keep in, you write and keep in your notebook. With that, this chapter is completed. So next class we'll start with the animal kingdom. Okay, thank you.